your boy Alex.
I missed you all. I missed you all so bad.
I missed me too. That's why I make sure to look at myself in the mirror a couple times a day.
I love you, Alex. I love you.
Yeah. How you doing,
Oh,
man?
dude. So bummed.
Why?
Dude, yesterday I ordered DoorDash, right? Right?
hmm
I see the notification pop up. Not 15 seconds later, I go to the door. Where the fuck is the food?
Did they take it?
Yeah, I guess. They must have taken it. I don't know. I really don't know what happened.
Do they
I look out.
do they
Oh,
like
man.
send you a picture with the food at your
Yeah,
doorstep?
yeah. They sent me a picture, food at the doorstep. Not 15 seconds later, open my door, food's gone. I'm like,
Oh no.
what? I was like, that's so bogus. And so, yeah, I reported the whole thing and stuff, and I got my money back, which was fine. But it's just like, I was bummed. I
I
was hungry.
Yeah, man. Like food, when it comes to food and
I'm one
even sharing
feral,
food, you know?
so feral, dude.
Flipping
So feral.
tables, breaking TVs.
I know. And that's the thing too, is like I tried looking at it as more as a blessing. I was like, okay, because if I came out any sooner, I would have seen it in action. What would I have done? Really, what would I have done? So I didn't get into any conflict. I
Yeah, that's
didn't
true.
I didn't explode on anybody. There was nobody was hurt in the process. You know,
Yeah.
I'm just convincing myself this was just the best outcome.
Hey, that's good. That's a great way to look at it, man. Good job.
It's physically because it's one of those situations where you can't do anything about it except just
hmm
get your money back. I got it, so I can't be too upset, right?
Yeah.
So,
Well, I know a lot of people that are listening to this podcast right now struggle with that, struggle accepting the things that are outside of their control.
I looked at Karen and I was like, I don't think I have the capacity to be calm right now. Let's go for a walk. So we went on a walk and it helped, and then I came back. I was like, okay. I sat on it for a second. It was super hard to try not to be reactive because the
hmm
first thing I want to do is be angry, but be angry at what? The culprit is gone.
Yeah, you're just gonna ruin your day. What type of food was it?
It was Greek food. I love Greek
Yeah,
food. I
yeah.
know it was a Mediterranean bowl with steak, and I might just try and get it again today.
Are you gonna go pick it up or order it?
I'm probably gonna pick it up. I'm a little
Yeah.
scarred. I was going to order like Taco Bell immediately after, but I was like, I don't know if I could get hurt twice in a row. So I just tried to forge some snack at home, and it was just fine.
Man, yeah, I've never had that happen. Though I don't order like delivery very often
It's
or Uber
a
Eats.
bad addiction. It's a bad addiction. How you been though? How you been?
I'm good, man. Doing really, really good. Yeah, I've been fishing at least once a week. So went fishing a couple days ago, surf fishing. The wind out here has been super windy, um, so it's kind of been tough. But yeah, doing good. Hearing the birds chirping, and gonna go pick up a kayak here in about an hour, 2 hours. hmm
Well, I hope you're having a good time. You did move all the way over there.
Yeah, I hate
This
it.
is
It's terrible.
I will mention this every episode. I just
I wish I was back in the baking 120 degree weather heat out in Vegas. I miss
dude,
that.
it's great.
I miss the
Actually,
30-mile-an-hour winds with tumbleweeds and sand getting everywhere.
okay, we get it. We get it, Water Boy. We're
Yeah.
fine.
Waterboy. Have you seen the movie what is it, Waterworld?
No, no, I've seen the dolphin one with the like he doesn't have a fin or something, so they make him a fin. I don't know what that's called.
Oh yeah, you're 10 years younger than me.
Huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh, yeah.
So,
My goodness. What is the topic for today?
yeah, so the topic is how to be present in a world full of distractions. Such a great topic. I love this. Yes.
I struggle with being present anywhere as I am concerned about the past and the future.
Is there a time that you can remember being present?
Um, DoorDash stolen order, my entire swimming career. Um, no, nah. Realistically, I'm pretty good with being in the present. I think what struggles sometimes though is just the amount of like setting up for the podcast today, right?
Hmm.
I was just on my phone and it was hard to get off knowing that I even though I had a task to do, it was just like oh, did I text this person? Oh, did I do this? Oh, did I do that? And then I'm like I'm just playing a game at the end of the day. It's like what's going on?
Yeah, yeah, like that automatic kind of behaviors, the habits. I was doing the same thing, man.
I know. Are
Yeah.
you a distracted personnel usually?
Depends. I fluctuate. So lately, yes and no. I've been really calm, present in the moment, but I seem to be on my phone a lot more than I'd like to. And so, and I we were talking about this last time of kind of getting off all social media and turning off the distractions. But I tend to do this when I have a big goal or vision for my life, if that makes sense. So, like this to do list, because I'm really diving headfirst into my business every single day. I'm doing things while working, and then being a part of the mental health nonprofit, and then the podcast and fishing and being a husband. So, yeah, this is perfect. So, how to be present in a world full of distractions. And this is probably me talking to myself right now, right?
Yeah.
Um, the one thing that I do is breathe. So constantly I'm using my breath as a reminder to be present. And I just take a moment, take a deep breath and notice like how it feels to take a nice, deep, healthy breath. Notice that the relationship with the breath in my body. And then right before we started, you had to go use the restroom. And
Hey, hey,
I,
hey, 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 you put me on
yeah,
blast.
he tore up the bathroom. He was definitely mindful and present in that moment.
Oh my goodness. Every single time on the toilet, let me tell
Every
you.
single time. And I naturally, because I've fallen into this habit of going to my phone, right? Is I just sat back and like I turned off the noise canceling for my AirPods and I literally stared at the fence. And I was using my visual sense to focus on the different textures and the different shades of the fence, different depth. And that's all being present is being in the moment with what's showing up now. And a lot of the times it isn't our natural habit to do that because of the world that we live in, because we have social media, because we, are constantly doing something. A lot of it has to do with social media, but work, family, responsibilities. Mhm.
Yeah, I find it pretty much like the source of all this like distraction is one, advertisements and two, being on your phone all the time. I feel like especially during like campaign season or something like that, just like all you get is just, political ad campaigns, you're just like you cannot get to the point sometimes with the subject you're trying to do. Another thing is just your phone is just a big, huge like email chain, right? And you got to get through every single notification so you can clear everything. And it's just, it wastes a lot of time because you can live under the concept that like every single day is a day that'll never come back. And if 2 hours of it was on your phone, can you say it gave you the 1% you needed to move forward? I don't know. Certainly I cannot unless I'm uploading a video on my phone.
Yeah. I love what you just said. Treating your day as if you don't get another one.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we can't live every single day like it was our last because I'd spend my entire bank account, but um living every single day like with purpose, I suppose, right? Because we're just stuck in this automatic flow of like, constant distractions, coming back home and then maybe not doing much or not doing anything. And then just by the time you get up to do something, all the things you were avoiding, you have to go do now. And so, when does your hobby actually come up? You know what I'm
How
saying?
how do you create that purpose when you're like stuck in the distractions of the world?
Um, On my TikTok and Instagram, I have like a lot of motivational like quotes and stuff like that. And a lot of the times they're saying stuff like, "Oh, silence the notifications, get up and do something." And I've kind of made it a thing where it's like once I see something like that, I actually do it because like it's so easy to just look at it and then just scroll past it and just keep going. But I'm like, "Oh no, like this is telling me to do this, so I should probably, try it out." Or I set an alarm for myself. Like I'm like, okay, I kind of want to do some brain rot activity. I'm gonna set a 20-minute alarm, right? So in 20 minutes, I gotta get up and I just have to act responsible like the adult I am.
Does it work?
Yes, yes, it does. It actually, I've only started doing it recently because I've noticed that like when I get home, I spend like an hour and a half just trying to feel like I'm catching up with myself or something. But I've noticed that like if I set the alarm and I do 20, 30 minutes of just like chilling, literally doing nothing, and then that alarm goes off, I'm pretty good about getting up and doing the things I need to do, whether it be just like laundry, washing the dishes, recording a video, you know.
Yeah. I That does not work for me. When I'm disciplined, then it works. But when I'm not disciplined, setting that 20-minute alarm and relaxing, it's not even relaxing. For me, it's more distracting. So distracting myself, procrastinating, then that 20 minutes comes up and I'm like, I could do another 20 minutes. So I
Mhm.
tend to kind of hit that snooze button a bunch, right? So what I've done is kind of flipped it and I give myself 10 minutes. So anytime I need to do something, I go, okay, I'm going to do this for 10 minutes. And then after that 10 minutes, I have the choice to continue to do it, or I'm giving myself permission to go, you know, procrastinate or distract. And it's almost given me this ability to take care of responsibilities first, which
Mhm.
I have in the past, but life has its ups and downs, changes. But that's one way that has really helped me. So I love the different perspectives, different kind of ways to help.
But yeah, if I gave myself permission, I wouldn't do anything. I don't, yeah, that's the thing too that you probably carry from this is that people are wired different. So whatever you hear on social media that, helps them may not help you. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So
Exactly.
you got to find different methods, whether it's just making like a time slot on a calendar or like simply doing the alarm method or giving yourself permission to do so or, oh, I have to do these first before I can rest, type of thing. Whatever works for you, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Everyone's different. Don't beat yourself up so much, man.
Man, that's all I can do. That's all
That's
I
what
can
most
do.
people do.
If I don't beat
It's all
myself
good.
up, how am I gonna progress, huh? Am I just gonna become complacent? Hmm?
Does it work?
We're at this point right now, so I guess not.
That's
Well,
usually
I mean,
what I ask, yeah, with my clients when I hear a lot of self-criticism, judgment, suppression of emotions. I hate feeling anxious. I hate that I don't do this. I'm supposed to be doing this. That's my question is like, what would it look like if you forgave yourself and gave yourself compassion and love and treated yourself like you would treat someone else? And then what's that
yeah.
result?
That's the big thing is like a lot of the things you would do for people. It's like everybody is their own critic to themselves, and it's so hard to take your own advice, especially in a world full of distractions. Because if a friend came up to you and said, "Dude, I am just glued to my phone. I cannot get off of it. Like, what do I do?" You'd probably suggest any of the things we mentioned beforehand, or you would mention like, "Oh, just like they have like parental features on the apps and stuff. Just use that before you can like, oh, you can't use it past 8 p.m. or you can't use it past this point or whatever, right?" But if it came down to you actually doing that, you'd have a very tough time because you feel like uh y- how do I say? Sometimes you give yourself the benefit of the doubt, and I feel like it's like, "Oh, like I've worked so hard today, I deserve the brain rot." Um which sometimes you do. but sometimes also have you completed any of the goals you've done today? And so you just go on a constant feedback loop, I feel. Am I wrong about this? Let me know.
No, it's definitely common, but it's not like everyone doesn't experience this,
Hmm.
right? Everyone will experience it at some point in their life, but it comes down to the programming that you have. So, like your childhood, how you were raised, how many times you were told no, no, don't touch that, stop doing this, don't do
That's
this.
stupid.
Right, and then school. Like the whole time you're the way the school system is set up is it's like little check boxes and dopamine hits. And when you don't, you know, get an A or B or succeed, you're criticized and negatively punished emotionally. And this isn't happening one time. It's not happening hundreds, not thousands, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of times of your life. And your body, your mind, your emotions get used to feeling bad when we don't meet a certain expectation, right? And if you want to change your life, if you want to have more joy, happiness, you have to reprogram that. For me, if I'm not disciplined, I hire someone. I take, even if I don't have much money, I take the money that I have, I create an accountability partner and someone that has success in that area. I pay them to uh, teach me, to be that positive influence in my life, to be that reminder. A lot of people come to me and I want to be happy. I'm miserable. This. Like my life, my past, or the past experiences in my life are holding me down from being the person I want to be. And my question is like, well, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want to be happy? How bad do you want to be present? Are you willing to give up your bank account to do it? And I'm not saying do that, but what creates change is the reason behind it. And if you're not willing to trade something of lesser value for more value, money for quality time, time you can never get back, but money you can always make more of, then you're just not ready. For me, I've spent 6 figures self developing, and it's worth every penny of it.
We're at this point right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. You didn't know me back when I was a fighter, man.
And a big baller.
Yeah. Big boy. Yeah. Yeah. Kind of wild. But yeah, how to be present in a world full of distractions. To be honest, you have to learn how to hit that pause button. You have to learn that you are, every time you're falling into that automatic behavior, leaning into the distractions, you are losing control. And you are giving your control and your choice to other people, and you're technically not free. I look at it, here's another analogy. I know you love them.
Yeah, give it to me. Give it to me.
What's your favorite game?
Ooh, of all time.
Yeah, the one that you enjoy right now, or what?
Let's
Like
just say God of War,
God of War. Okay, so what's the main character in God of War?
Kratos.
Kratos. So imagine when you're on autopilot, default mode, you're really reactive to distractions. You are Kratos. You're that character, and you're limited by the programming that that character has been programmed with. The clothes it wears, all these different things. It's limited ability. Now, being present gives you the ability to jump out of character and become the observer, become the one that's holding the remote. And now you have more choice. You can go in and choose where that character goes, right? That's how I look at being present is you begin to become aware of our thought patterns, aware of the emotions that are holding us back, aware of our procrastination or judgments, and it gives us choice on whether we want to change, want to upgrade, or stay stuck in that same pattern and like repeat the same thing over and over and over, expecting a different result. Insanity.
Yeah, I was gonna say that insanity is the definition of doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result.
Mm-hmm.
Me going to the gym, doing the same exercise at the same weights, and I want progress? What? No.
Oh wow, man. But we're all on this journey.
True,
I'm
yeah.
a mental health coach. I'm a vice president of a mental health nonprofit. I'm a meditation and manifestation coach. I, I'm on this podcast and I struggle with being present from time to time. And there's times where I'm I know being present is going to add a lot of value to my life. I'm just not in a place where I'm ready to do it, for whatever reason. I don't stay there for very long. And when I do get present, I really remind myself of like, okay, you've created this momentum. Don't stop. The train's going. It takes a lot of effort to get that train going, but once it's going, it doesn't take much effort to keep it going.
Yeah, I am dirt man. I climb rock and I lift weight at gym, and it's hard for me to be present because I get ugh, I just get stuck in this brain rot where I'm like, oh, I've already done so much today, work, and and then I, sit on my phone. Then I'm like, oh, let me play a little bit of videojuegos, and then I go play videojuegos, and then I'm not happy until I grab my camera and then I get to business. Or,
So are you only happy when you're being productive?
no, no, I don't think so. Oh, I'm happy all the time, but I think it's one of those things, like I said in the last episode, where it doesn't, like, if I have to do certain things, right, it doesn't like stress me out to a degree. But when I've been thinking about something like recording or editing a video and I don't get to it for today, the next day, 2 days later, it just sits in my head. And
Hmm.
that's the feeling of anxiety that I get more than anything. And the way I've been finding to combat that is, instead of like playing video games, telling myself, okay, let's edit first, even if it's just 30 minutes and I'm not really in the mood to kind of do it, even if I don't want to, I'm going to leave that session still feeling grateful that I attempted it rather than not touching it whatsoever,
What if
you
you
know?
could create that grateful emotion before any behavior change? Do you think that would influence the behavior change?
Possibly. I never thought of it like that. Like, you mean just be grateful, just like, oh yeah, like I'm going to be, like I'm ready to, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, so a lot of people um, like focus on um, cause and effect, right? There's a cause outside of us that's affecting our emotion. So let's say, I have to edit a video and I do it. And then by doing it, I feel grateful. I feel accomplished. I feel good, right? So we're waiting for us to take action to feel good. What if you can cause an effect? What if you can slow down, be more present, create gratitude and love and joyfulness in yourself, this higher vibrational emotion, which naturally will influence and give you a bigger momentum push to do like the editing or the videoing or all these things that's going to help you accomplish your goals.
Okay, okay, yeah, I'll try that next time.
That's how I use mindfulness, or that's what I use mindfulness to do, is like reminding myself that like there's so much around us constantly. In front of me, I have two big lights, a phone on a, or yeah, my iPhone that's the camera on a stand, my computer on a stand, two plants, a microphone, a mouse, a little wealth stone, a tape. I can go on and on. And then on top of that, there's details within it. I can spend 5 minutes explaining, probably longer, all the detail on this desk. But when I fall into autopilot, I don't notice any of that. I'm physically here, but my mind is somewhere else. My mind is in the future or in the past, you know, regretting past mistakes or judging myself for past mistakes, or, really focused on the things that need to be done in the future. And that's where anxiety comes in. That's where depression comes in. is we're not actually living our life. Being present gives you the ability to live your life. It gives you the ability to like feel connected to the incredible opportunity we have here on Earth. We're the only planet that works. We're
So
spinning
so far,
so
so far.
fast. Yeah, that we know of, right? The only planet that works that we know of. We've got this thin layer of atmosphere that's protecting us from burning alive and freezing instantly.
Just lucky to be born, to be honest.
You know, it's just perspective. And the more you dive into self development, spiritual guidance, or growth, you really, um, start a new Instagram account, start a new YouTube account, Facebook account, and on that account, only look up positive things. And so let a new algorithm influence you. And if you want to get off autopilot and be more present, just open up that account. I've done that too in the past.
Yeah. I know one of my buddies, he has like two different accounts, one for just like stupid stuff and then the other one just for, like for straight motivation. I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's cool." All right. Thankfully, mine is filled with stupid stuff and motivational content. So I only need to make one.
Yeah. So the Reddit portion.
Oh,
So
yeah, what's the Reddit story for today?
yes, the Reddit story is from OK Signature 6711. How can someone help me understand about being in the present moment? So this is their question. I don't particularly understand the idea of living in the present. How does one do that? I spend most of my time worrying about the future and the past. I feel trapped. I could not imagine myself not worrying about the future. My mind is constantly thinking about what can be done or thinking about how I have effed up my life or how I feel unhappy, sad all the time. I hate that I have a victim mentality. I don't think I'm progressing in life much. I'm fighting my intrusive thoughts and constantly ruminating. I feel deeply sad and hopeless. The idea of living in the present makes me feel guilty. That's tough. And a lot of love to you, OK Signature, whatever your name is, being in that deep dark cave that you're in, feeling alone and trapped. It can feel isolating. It can feel like you can't get out. I've been there. I've been there multiple times. And so sending a lot of love your way. First thing that comes to mind is what are we resisting? Right? There's the emotions, unhappy, sad, the emotions around victim mentality, guilt, um, regret, right? Um, and all those emotions, just like we were talking about last week or the week before, are banging at the door. And what our habit is doing, what our ego is doing to try to protect us, is keeping that door closed. I would, if you don't feel like you've been able to open up that door yourself, I would reach out to a professional, a coach, a therapist, start reading books, um, and take a deep breath and connect with those emotions. Let them rise to the surface, and it'll be difficult, but once it's done, like you've released that valve, you've released that pressure, and it's a weight that's lifted off your shoulders. It's like walking around your entire life with a backpack full of rocks. They're not supporting you anymore. You can take off that backpack if you want, but we're so used to having that backpack on, we don't know what it would feel like or look like to take it off.
Oh man, I think the part that hit me the most is like the guilt-free one, or the guilt portion where he was like, yeah, like I feel guilty for being in the present. And I think that kind of just shows that a lot of the things that you're sitting on, you haven't completely forgiven. That's why you feel guilty, like you would say, I'm sorry and forgive anybody else for who gone through a similar situation as to you. You should also give yourself the benefit of the doubt and forgive yourself as well, because not everything is your fault, especially if you're the person you are today. And so I feel like it's super important that we learn this idea to just forgive yourself like you'd forgive somebody else. And I think if you're able to do that, you wouldn't feel so guilty being in the present moment.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's okay to feel those emotions. Like it doesn't mean we like them, but what we resist persists. We need to feel it to heal it. And by feeling it, you'll notice how much it really influences our life. We're emotional creatures. A really good book to help with this is No Bad Parts. It's a really good book. Or Radical Acceptance by Tara Brach is another good one.
Ooh, you like that one?
Yep. I like them all, man.
Um, I think one of the things, mainly I want to touch on too, is there is this idea of like, being present and stuff like that. And a lot of the time, people are like, "Oh, like how do I be present when I have to think about the future in order to continue moving forward, right?" And to that, I say, because I think like that way all the time, is like being in the present doesn't stop you from thinking about the future, right? Obviously, you always have plans, always have goals, but sometimes, we focus so much on the goal, we don't focus on the everyday life that has to get to that point, right? And so I've been trying to get to terms of this, especially when it comes to like a world full of distractions, things stopping me from being in the present moment and not thinking about, what do I want to do today? There's like there's so many easy facets of dopamine and stuff like that. So I feel like it's important that we, try and stay at least consistent with ourselves for sure.
Yes, sir. And being present is not about joy or happiness. That's a symptom after being present for a while. Being present is noticing that anxiety and not resisting it, just noticing it, noticing that guilt, noticing when we're thinking about the future and being like, okay, I'm thinking about the future right now. And that's what's happening in the present moment. So often, and I hear this a lot, is like mindfulness or meditation or being present. Like, I just want to be happy, so I'm going to do it. That yes, that's a reason to do it, and I think it's a phenomenal reason to do it. But the goal of being present is to just be with what is, what's showing up in this moment, right here, right now, and being connected. Mhm.
God, I'm so sad now. I'm just kidding. No, I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. You doing good?
Oh yeah, I'm doing well. I feel a lot of energy in my heart because I know a lot of people struggle with this, and it breaks my heart. But like, you're worthy. There's no difference between you and I. The only difference is on the surface level, is the programming. If we look behind that programming and we were planted with in a different time period of life, or a different country or state, different parents, different upbringing, different experiences, a lot of us would have the same perspective and struggle with the same things. And so what's
Yeah.
that identity behind that, behind all that? Who is that? Who's the true self? And yeah, it's love,
And
man.
it is. It's hard to kind of wrap your mind around too, because you could also argue that we are the accumulation of our all past experiences and it makes us who we are. But I don't think that especially all the negative stuff defines you completely, you know? Every
Why
reaction
doesn't it?
is I don't know, because I feel like every reaction that you ever do is to a perceived wound that happened a long time ago. Something that like triggers you, something that, which is why being present and not getting mad at your DoorDash driver, you know, it it's pretty hard when it comes to trying to just be yourself. Sorry, there's something going on in the
That's
background.
okay. I kind of want to dance. So let me ask about that for a second. So where did you learn that being present and in control of your emotions was important?
When I reacted to something in like an angry manner, or whether it was, yeah, it was when it was an angry manner, and I did not get the outcome that I kind of desired or wanted, and I think looking back on it, I just wish I wouldn't have gotten so angry at the situation, and I would have just rather just told the person, "Hey, let me just sit on this for a bit and get back to you because I'm not going to give you, an answer that's like truthful to me. I'm going to give you the angry Alex answer, and that's never going to be nice. That's never going to be who I really am, especially like in the heat of the moment. A lot of people argue that like when you explode like that, you say the things you really want to say, but I think it's just a part of you that hasn't fully thought about it yet.
So that experience in your past influenced when the food didn't show up at your doorstep. It influenced you to be more
Yeah,
present and in control of your emotions.
I'd say so.
So our entire life is an accumulation of experiences that drive our behavior, whether it's
I see.
good, bad, neutral.
I see how you brought that around. All right, I like that. I like
Hmm.
that.
It's all programming, man.
It is.
And
Yeah.
if we wanted, and this is where manifestation and visualization go, if we continue to do what we're doing, having the thoughts, the emotions, the belief system, right? The belief of it's important to have control of our emotions and have that emotional quotient. Um, the thinking the money is the root of all evil. If we continue that, what's the end result? What does all that those thoughts, beliefs, and emotions create for your life? And if we look at that, and this is where thinking about the future can be important, is because it's doing a life audit. If that's not going to create the life that you want, you have to change. And it's your choice. Either you can be stuck in the programming of the character, or you can give yourself the opportunity to jump off screen, grab the damn remote of your life, and choose that I'm not going to be a victim to other people. I'm not going to be controlled by past life experiences that I cannot change anymore. And a lot of that, there's healing and different things that need to happen, but it really is a choice, and it comes down to that. For me, it like just I hit rock bottom.
Man, I know. I think that's going to be around what my final closing point is if you want to be present, please forgive yourself because there's something huge when it comes to forgiving yourself, right? You give yourself the benefit of the doubt, which means any future mistakes that you make, you possibly won't take as seriously as you have before, considering the fact that if you've forgiven yourself once, you can forgive yourself again, right? And I think it's very important that once you do that, you feel so much free. You feel freedom, really. And then when it comes to the world of distractions, you can forgive yourself for taking too much time brain rotting or too much time doing this as you'd forgive anybody else. It's really important to forgive yourself for almost anything you've done, really,
Everything.
because yeah, everything because like it's you and you have to make sure that you take care of yourself as much as you would take care of somebody else.
Yeah. It's worthy, or you're worthy of forgiveness. You really are. And
Yes, you
I
are.
have kind of a closing uh, tool that you can use for your life to become more present and aware of your thought patterns before we move into the mindful minute. Get a little notepad, one that can fit in your pocket, and just keep it with you for a day. And anytime you notice a thought, just write it down. Positive, negative, doesn't matter. This will help you become more aware of your thinking patterns. And then at the end of the day, review it. We have over 60,000 thoughts on average a day. 60,000.
Ew.
95% of them are the same thoughts that we had yesterday.
Ew.
Yeah. And we
Damn, dude.
have like we're literally repeating the same day over and over and over, hoping that someone will save us. Well, guess what? Two Mindful Guys is here to love you, to help. We're going through life just like you guys,
Exactly,
and
yeah.
you can make the choice for your life to grab the boat that's pulling up trying to save your life. You can jump in right now. It's your choice. One day. That's it. Do it for 1 hour if a day is too much. Do it for 10 minutes if an hour is too much. Do it for 1 minute if 10 minutes is too much.
30 seconds.
30 seconds. So We're going to get into the mindful minute here.
Yep,
Anything you
yep.
want to say about the mindful minute?
Um, in this mindful minute, forgive yourself for one thing that happened. Just one. Even if it's minor. Even if it's you dropping chips on the floor. Just forgive yourself for one thing that happened, and then it's a chain reaction, I promise.
Hmm. And
All
then
right.
Alex and I will share what we forgive ourselves about.
Oh,
Is that
okay.
okay? Little
Yeah, that's fine.
vulnerability?
Okay, yeah, I can be vulnerable. It's fine.
Okay.
All right. Three, two, one, go. That has been 1 minute.
Oh, I love this, man. I could have stayed there for an hour for sure.
Uh,
Once I go in, yeah, it's like
I could have stayed there for another 20 seconds.
I'll share mine. So last night it was 1 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes I get excited, especially when it comes to diving and fishing, and I stay up late. And I wanted to pull an all nighter, and I've been really trying to watch my eating habits and stretching and doing a lot of calisthenic workouts to take care of my physical body that's been gifted to me. And at 2:30 in the morning, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go get something to eat, bro. I went to the fucking kitchen and like I got out all kinds of food, dude, and I ate till I was stuffed, bro.
Hell
I
yeah.
probably ate 1,500 calories at two
Hell
o'clock in
yeah.
the morning.
That's what I like to hear. You just
And
need a refeed, that's all.
yeah, I forgave myself for that, and I forgave myself for the pressure I've been putting on myself lately of trying to reach a certain expectation for other people and using my growth and all that path of upgrading myself and kind of putting it on the back burner where I've really focused on how can I help this person, how can I help this person, and I've forgiven myself for putting on other people's masks before putting on my own, and I feel lighter, I feel a little freer. I'm like, okay, cool, like time to love myself a little bit more and get back to that unconditional love, that forgiveness of self, that freedom. So,
I know.
yep.
I think I, well, what I was really thinking about was I forgive myself for not being more consistent with YouTube earlier in my life. Mainly because, obviously if I wasn't going head forward, just throwing myself at it, then obviously I wasn't ready. And if I were talking to anybody else in that situation, it's something like easily forgiven. Because if you weren't ready beforehand, this the first time to start anything that's the best time was yesterday. The second best time is now. So, I had to give myself the benefit of the doubt, and I forgive myself for that.
How does it feel to forgive yourself for that?
Um, it makes me emotionally turned on. So yeah, I'm ready. I'm good to go.
Emotionally turned on. Ooh,
I
I
know.
like that,
Yeah,
Alex.
my heart's
Stop.
pumping.
I may have to buy a flight out for you to come visit me since you're emotionally turned on. We can go
Please,
meditate together down at the park,
please
down
don't.
at the bay, the
Yeah,
beach.
not my ideal thing, but yeah,
No?
yeah, sure we could try. We could try. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Have you
Oh,
ever meditated before?
huh? Yeah, like once or twice.
Yeah, we got to do it once.
No, I'm not that great at it. Well, okay. Like, okay, you've said this before, and probably gonna say it right now. If I can't do it, because I think I can't do it, is exactly why the reason I need to do it. I heard this before. Okay, I just need to. It's hard to shut my brain off.
Yeah, meditation isn't always about shutting your brain off. It's just, again, it's deeper awareness about what is that brain saying.
That's valid. Sometimes I don't like what's in here, man. It's crazy. I can't
It's
do it.
crazy.
Crazy.
Well, love you, buddy. This is awesome.
Well, love you too. I love you too, audience. Thank you for everything. We appreciate you. And remember, be mindful. Have a good day at work, and have a good day after work.
Peace.
Peace.